The familiar sight of a mail carrier traverses streets, a satchel slung over their shoulder, often belies the challenging realities of the job. While seemingly straightforward, mail delivery presents a unique set of obstacles that demand physical and mental resilience. One of the primary challenges is the sheer physicality of the work. Mail carriers spend hours walking, often in inclement weather, whether it be in bone chilling sub zero temperatures or sweltering hot heat in the summertime. Navigating uneven terrain, carrying heavy bags, they face the risk of dog bites, traffic accidents, and incidents from slips, trips, and falls, right? The job requires stamina and the ability to endure long hours under varying conditions. Beyond the physical demands, mail carriers contend with logistical complexities. They must efficiently organize and deliver mail to numerous addresses within tight time constraints, decoding illegible handwriting, navigating confusing addresses, and managing packages of varying sizes adds to the mental workload. Moreover, they operate under strict delivery regulations and performance expectations. The job also carries significant degree of social interaction. Mail carriers are often the only point of contact for isolated individuals, particularly in rural areas. While these interactions can be positive, they can also be challenging, especially when dealing with frustrated or difficult customers. Which brings us to an incident that took place out in Michigan not that long ago. And I'm going to play a clip, fair use, and we're going to react to that clip on the other side. Without further ado, before we get to that, without further ado, DJ, spin that shit.
A Farmington Hills man arrested and charged with ethnic intimidation and assault and battery after allegedly threatening a mail carrier on Thursday. It happened in Farmington Hills, just outside a mobile home park near Grand River and Middlebelt. Investigators say 61-year-old Russell Vallow was intoxicated when he rode up on a bicycle and started shouting at the female mail carrier,
saying very racially disparaging things about her, and then racially disparaging things about our current vice president and presidential candidate.
He was allegedly upset because she had delivered political campaign mailers from presidential candidate Kamala Harris. Authorities say he pulled out a knife and lunged at the mail carrier. In fear of her life, she grabbed her United States Postal Service issued pepper spray and sprayed it in the suspect's face. That prompted him to take off, according to investigators. Police were called and responded to the scene, where they located the suspect and arrested him nearby.
Individuals are lashing out on complete strangers on the assumption that they have actually somehow caused harm to them simply because of the color of their skin or their religion or their political persuasion.
With a little over a month till the presidential election, authorities hope this incident acts as a wake-up call.
We have to draw the line. We have to say to people, we must respect one another, regardless of whether you agree with somebody, and not threaten, bully, or scare somebody just because you don't like the way that they look or the beliefs that they have.
In Farmington Hills, Camille Mary, Fox 2 News. A Farmington Hills man arrested.
Didn't me do that. So get this, right? You got a postal worker just doing her job, right? We don't know this woman from Adam. She is just doing her job, delivering the mail when it's supposed to be delivered, on time, where it's supposed to be delivered to, on time. And the thanks she gets for doing her job is to have some random stranger roll up on her with a knife, all because she committed the cardinal sin of putting a Kamala Harris flyer in his mailbox. And yet, you got these elected officials out here that will say that America isn't a racist country, and yet we still get racist shit go on like this. Make it make sense. The man, Russell Valal, told the letter carrier that he did not want that black bitch in his mailbox, initially referring to Vice President Kamala Harris. Then he repeated the slur, but this time, calling her the N-word, was referring to the Postal Service employee, and he threatened her. That's when she pulled out the pepper spray. And the police later on took Mr. Valal into custody. Prosecutors are increasingly using the charges to fight what is often called a hate crime. They can include intimidation, harassment, physical force, or threat of physical force directed at someone motivated by bias against their real or perceived race, ethnic background, national origin, religion, gender and sexual orientation, gender identity, and disability. Earlier this month, you had a out in Macomb County was acquitted of ethnic intimidation and assault by a jury, and she was accused of yelling racial slurs and throwing a pillow at a woman in Roseville store just before Christmas and was suspended. Now, if convicted, Valal potentially faces prison time and a fine. The maximum penalty for a misdemeanor assault and battery is 93 days in jail and a fine of $500. And for felony ethnic intimidation, up to 2 years in jail and a fine of $5,000. So yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy what's going on when it comes to guys like this, right? Now, you have a lot of people online that will sit up here and talk about how nobody's bringing this story up, right? But when we bring up these types of stories don't get the traction on YouTube for whatever reason, right? Because we are worried about other things that are less of importance. We worrying about, a Diddy party and baby oil and where the baby oil is being used and how the baby oil is being used and why does he have so much baby oil? I mean, what are you using that baby oil for? And all this other freaky deaky scenario based um, theories that should have no business in the discourse. All the meanwhile, we still got white supremacists out here still attacking black folks, all for doing their job, right? Who can ever forget about the FedEx delivery driver? Even he was working for FedEx or Amazon, but you're an Amazon delivery driver, and yet you got racists approaching your vehicle, trying to murder you for being in their town delivering their mail. It's just disgusting of the things that's going on, right? And then he's going after a woman. So had it been a mail delivery driver delivering your mail, and he, put Kamala Harris's flyer in your mailbox, would you attack him with the same veracity, Mr. Valal? Would you go at him with the same vigor? Whatever your political affiliation is, whatever you swing on the pendulum when it comes to either being a Republican or a Democrat, your personal beliefs or values or whatever else should not be projected onto somebody else. and especially should not be projected on the people who is just doing their job of making sure that you get your meal. And why do you always have to bring out oh, well, he was intoxicated, he was under the influence? For those of you who may not be aware of how that works, alcoholism does not make you who you are, but it will make you more of who you are. I'll repeat that one more time for the people that may not understand what I'm trying to say. You can't be just some mild-mannered person and then you get a shot of Hennessy or some Jack and Coke or Roman Coke or some Hennessy or whatever like that, right? And then all of a sudden you become a racist. That's not how that works. You cannot down a bottle of 211 from a Royal Farms or from a Wawa and be like, you know what? I feel like being a racist. I'm going to down this 211 right now. And then all of a sudden, after you down that bottle of 211 and you passed out from that hit of alcohol being in your system, whatever like that, you wake up and then you just start dropping that N-bomb or that whatever else like it's going out of style. And then after you sober up, you're not a racist anymore. That's not how that works. But I will tell you how that works though, right? If you was a racist, right? A mouth-frothing racist at that, then when you get a bottle or a can of 211 down your system, it's going to make you more of who you are. So you can't no longer conceal what you are when you're sober. When you are drunk, when you are so inebriated to the point where you can barely stand, then the real person comes out. Now, a lot of alcoholics and a lot of other people who might be under the influence of other things don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. And the truth don't care about your feelings, right? Alcohol makes you more who you are. So if you were a mouth-frothing racist before you down that can of 211, after you down that can of 211, your racism is going to come out. And it's going to come out steaming, stinking, and piping hot. So yeah, don't try to, I hate when the media does that. I hate when the media sit up here and talk about, oh, he was under the influence of alcohol, like that's supposed to draw some sympathy points for this racist right here. And before I end this stream, give a shout out to Ticket, because Ticket the one that talked about this yesterday. Ticket talked about this very particular crime yesterday. Now, YouTube ain't going to push my video, right? As you can see, less than, on this stream, as this particular stream, less than 10 people in this chat room right now, right? YouTube don't want to send out notifications for my videos or whatever. I don't know why. I'm just trying to eat. So for a lot of you guys out there, man, that catches my videos on the replay, you gotta, if you want to be notified of whenever I drop a video, you gotta watch the videos, you gotta smash that like button, you gotta share my content. Then and only then you get me when I get on. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to get my content, and then it'll be like, oh, well, I didn't get your notifications, or you bring up a subject that I already covered, right? Like 2 weeks ago or something like that. So, you know. But anyway, I don't mean to ramble on too much about this, right? I just wanted to bring to your attention another racist act by a funky-ass white supremacist, and that we continue to have elected officials lie, like Tim Scott. Yeah, I'm looking at you, you buck dancing beaver. And Tim Scott is going to sit up there and tell you that America isn't a racist country, all the meanwhile, racist shit like this still goes on. Now, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, Hit that like button and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Hey!